NUJ, National Union of Journalists. We are here standing together against the closure of the Carnarvon office, just over there, and standing up for local journalism in local communities. We will have a few speakers for you. I will finish off later on, but I'm going to open up with Hywel Williams, the Plaid Cymru MP and candidate for this year's general election.
Mae'n ddeuwch llais dwi'n bod yn gweithio ar lot o bobl ochr stryd yn y pythefnos weitha yma. Ond swn i yn dweud dwi'n hynod o falch a gweld chi gyd yma. Ynglŷn ag achos sydd yn aruthrol o bwysig, nid yn unig ni fel gwleidyddion, dwi'n falch o gwleidyddion eraill a bleidiau eraill yma hefyd. Mae'n aruthrol o bwysig o ran democratiaeth reol, ond hefyd mae'n aruthrol o bwysig i Gaernarfon fel tre ac i Gaernarfon fel canolfan bersnachol. It's extremely important that we're here today, not only in terms of protecting local democracy and our ability to talk to each other, but also in terms of Caernarfon's role as a regional centre and as a place which historically has been so important in the newspaper publishing and printing world in Wales for the last 150 and more years. Mae'r swyddfa na dros y ffordd a bod swyddfeydd a graffu sydd wedi bod mewn Caernarfon yn rhan anatod o'r dre yma, a mae'n colli hi beth bynnag ydy'r ddadl o blaid o ran economeg. Mae colli canolfan fel hyn yn mynd aruthrol i Gaernarfon. Mae rhaid i ni felly wrthwynebu. Whatever the economic arguments about closing an office, the police coming to an end, moving people to a different junction, losing this particular centre would be a dreadful blow for this town, and we must resist it with all our might, and I'm sure that everybody here will join with all of us in order to achieve that. We have seen over the years a decline in centres like the Herald office here for production of news, and that has had a direct effect, I think, on the sort of paper that we have in the Herald. I remember the Herald when it was winning prizes all round, and it had a huge amount of news content. These days it's slipped down, and I think our communities are worse for it. Mae yna rhywbeth sylfaenol yn adoes, o gael cyfle i bobl siarad yn fwy nhw'n hunan, i gael y straeon i fewn sydd yn bwysig i'r cymuned yna. Da ni'n gweld hynny fath o dyna'r roedd, gwrs. Da ni'n gweld pan mae'r Helo Cymraeg yma, mae hwnna wedi mynd i raddau helaeth. Ond mae yna rhywbeth sylfaenol am democratiaeth yna, a mae rhaid ni achub ac arbed hynny, neu fydd o'n gost sylfaenol i ni at y dyfodol. Mae Cymru a Gogledd Cymru, wrth gwrs, yn cael gwasanaeth cymharol sydd yn y papurau newydd. A dwi'n bod sy'n gwrs yna, ond da ni'n edrych ar y papurau newydd eraill sydd yn gylchredeg yn yr ardal yma. Chydig iawn o wybodaeth ag o newyddion sydd yna o Gogledd Cymru. Mae o'n rwystro yn gallu ni i gynnal trafodaeth democrataidd. Felly, ar sail hynny, dwi'n dweud na i gael y swyddfa yma. Ar sail amddiffyn buddiannau tre Caernarfon, mae rhaid ni wrthod cael y swyddfa yma. Gan mae rhaid ni yrru'r neges yn eglur iawn i Synes i Mirror, nawn ni ddim closef yn fawr iawn i fi.
Next up is Alan Pugh, former Welsh Culture Minister and Labour Party candidate for Arfon 2015.
Just gai bach, mae'n da i weld cymaint o bobl fan hyn yma'n Caernarfon wedi mwyn protestio. Dwi'n siomedig iawn efo'r penderfyniad Trinity Mirror i cael y swyddfa yma'n Caernarfon. I know how well that we will certainly have our political differences and we'll resolve those in a couple of weeks' time. But today Hywel and I are absolutely united protesting against this disgraceful decision from Trinity Mirror to close this office. The paper has been at the heart of our community for over a century, and many things go to bind communities together. Voluntary organisations, faith groups, but local journalism and local newspapers are a really important part of holding our community together. And unless there is an investment in this paper, unless there is an investment in journalism, I fear for the future of that paper. I think it is only a question of time before it closes. So Trinity Mirror really need to think again. Rather than adopting a position of managed decline, they need to invest in those journalists. knows journalism. Because social media is important, Twitter and Facebook are important, but there is no substitute for having properly trained, qualified journalists who really understand communities in producing a paper that is a compelling read and that people will want to buy. So how well, so we will have our differences in the future, but today we are absolutely united. We want to keep this newspaper at the heart of our community. Diolch yn fawr I chi am dod.
Thank you, Alan. Next up is the council leader, Dyfed Edwards.
Diolch Paul, ac gael gyda ddiolch I Paul a'r NUJ I gyd am drefnu'r digwyddiad yma heddiw. Mae'n debyg yr hyn sydd wedi ysgogi nhw ydi pryderon nhw fel staff a fel gohebwyr. Ond mae'r digwyddiad yma heddiw ar gyfer y gymuned ehangach yn ogystal yn dydy, nid dim ond y staff o'r gohebwyr. So a brief word of thanks to Paul and the NUJ for organising this protest today. It's a statement not just in the name of staff and the reporters, but it's a statement in the name of the community of Caernarfon and wider. Un peth mae rhaid ni wneud yn gwbl amlwg heddiw ydy nid protest yn erbyn cael swyddfa fach mewn dre fach yn Ngogledd Orllewin Cymru yn unig yw'r hyn. Ond wrth gwrs fel mae eraill wedi dweud, diolch I Trinity Mirror, mae yna berig I ni weld dros ganrif a hanner o draddodiad o gyhoeddi ac o hebu ac o newyddiaduraeth yn dod I ben yn y dref hanesyddol hon. A beth sy'n ddifyr I fod y newyddiaduriaeth yna wedi sylfaenu ar angydffurfiaeth a chydfrydiaeth radicalaidd yn erbyn cyfalafiaeth a cheidwadaeth y dydd. Dyn ni'n ôl yma unwaith eto mae'n ymddangos. Ond mae'r protest yma wneud mwy na mater y swyddfa, mae'n ymwneud â dyfodol a papurau newydd. Papurau newydd Trinity Mirror, Daily Post a'r Herald. Oherwydd dwi'n digwydd credu bod gohebu a newyddiaduraeth yn un o gongolfeini democratiaeth leol. Gohebiaeth wedi I gysylltu â'r gymuned leol, yn adrodd o'r gymuned leol ac mewn cysylltiad â'r gymuned leol. Mae'n wir I ddweud dwi ddim wedi cytuno pob gair. Mae'r Herald neu'r Daily Post wedi gyhoeddi dros y blynyddoedd, ond dwi'n amddiffyn eu hawl nhw I ddal pobl yn atebol, boed yn wleidyddion neu sefydliadau. This protest is far more than the future of that office. It's not about a building. It's about ensuring that we have journalism of quality that is rooted in the local community. That is central to the democratic process, I believe. Despite what is published in the newspapers, I may not agree with everything, but I certainly believe strongly that both the Daily Post and the Caernarfon Denbigh Herald have a very important role to play in furthering the democratic process and holding people to account, be they politicians such as myself or organisations and other establishments. And is that the future that we are trying to protect, because we think that is something valuable. And if there is one message we need to send out to Trinity Mirror today, I think it is that message. We want a local press based locally, rooted in the local community, and we don't want a light version of the London Daily Mirror. Thank you very much. Dwi wedi cael y fraint dros y blynyddoedd o fod yn gysylltiedig â sawl anghydfod diwydiannol. Dwi'n meddwl 30 mlynedd yn ôl I Lenny fues i'n gysylltiedig â chefnogaeth I streic y glowyr. Fuan wedi hynny, roedd streic a chwarelwyr yn Blaenau Ffestiniog, a mwyaf diweddar wrth gwrs oedd streic Ferodo, Friction Dynamics. Wel, gallai ddeud wrthych chi, un peth oedd yn gyffredin am y streici yna, ymhlith lot o bobl eraill, un garfan oedd yn cefnogi oedd yr NUJ. Those strikes I referred to, that I and others supported, those great causes, the miners' strike, the quarrymen strike in Blaenau Ffestiniog, and in more recent years, the great Ferodo Friction Dynamics strike. I can tell you chapels of the NUJ throughout these islands supported those men and women in their hour of need. The shoe is now on the other foot. We need to stand shoulder to shoulder with the NUJ in the fight that is about ensuring a future for local journalism. Felly mae'n amser I ni fod yn barod I roi cefnogaeth ni iddyn nhw. United we stand, mewn undod mae'n erth. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
I'm going to please introduce now, this is the NUJ's Vice President, Adam Christie, who's come here from Leeds today.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your invitation to support a very, very important event and argument today. I come from another bilingual part of the United Kingdom known as Yorkshire, where the principal newspaper owner is a company called Johnston Press. Trinity Mirror also have a presence in Yorkshire in Huddersfield, where again they've been cutting back and cutting back and cutting back. My colleagues from Leeds in the Johnston Press group chapel there have asked me to pass on their best wishes and solidarity to people here in Carnarvon taking a stand against Trinity Mirror's decision. If you want to do something individually, then email or write to Simon Fox, the Chief Executive, as well as Simon Bishop, and tell him why you think local journalism is so important to this community and every other community around the United Kingdom. Because as we've seen, this and the importance of local journalism transcends politics. That is how important it is. Colleagues in Yorkshire know only too well that the damage can be caused by regional publishers when they make cuts across the United Kingdom, especially in closing offices at the heart of the communities they serve. Not only do reporters, when they're allowed to, come out from those offices, but people go into them. They know where they are, and you know how to find a journalist. And knowing how to find a journalist has led to some of the biggest and most important scandal stories of the last few years coming to widespread public attention. If it hadn't been for strong local journalism, we'd know nothing about the Staffordshire healthcare scandal. And look how big that has got. That originated with one local reporter who followed up a phone call. We cannot be more important than that, as I say for myself. The decision by Trinity Mirror to close this office shows a complete lack of understanding of the role of a truly local newspaper and the role that newspapers have in their communities anywhere in the United Kingdom. It undermines civic life, it undermines cultural life, and it undermines the significance of a town and a community by closing and reducing a newspaper's presence in any town or community. I join my colleagues in Yorkshire wholeheartedly in commending the colleagues here for taking the action. I commend you for standing up to Trinity Mirror and telling them that you still want an office for their paper in your town where journalists can be based and can report what is going on in that town.
Because it's not what we think we want to know that's important to our lives, it's what we don't realise that we need to know that is so important. And that is where trained, experienced local journalists are all important, because they can dig out those things that we don't realise that we need to know. And it might be something that appears very, very simple, like somebody at a local authority thinking about making changes to how the bins are emptied or collected. But as we know so much now, that affects all of us and it can so easily go unnoticed. We need local journalism. I commend this campaign to you and urge you to support it wholeheartedly. Thank you very much.
Councillor Sean Jones here?
Yeah,
Councillor Sean Jones, Bethel.
well, diolch o galon I chi gyd am yr cyhoeddiad lle. Thanks for the invitation over to speak today. I'm not going to keep you, we'll get to it. Mae heddiw'n dangos faint o gefnogaeth mae'r ymgyrch yma'n gael. Today shows the sheer support that this campaign is having. Fel cynghorydd lleol yn Bethel, dwi'n defnyddio'r Herald yn aml iawn. Mae'n bleser cael yr cydweithio agos na efo'r staff yn y Crown Herald. Fel dyn busnes cynt, busnes lawr fwncw, cwmni eiddo gwerthu tai, oedd ein bleser cael gweithio efo'r staff yn y siop yn Arfon. It was a pleasure as a county councillor working closely with the Crown Herald. It was a pleasure as a former business person in the town over here working with the Herald. What about those businesses? Beth am y busnesau yna? Ti eisiau dod i'r siop i siarad efo'r staff? Beth am y iaith Gymraeg? Beth am y pobol na sy'n siarad iaith Gymraeg efo'r staff yn y siop fan hyn? What about those people who want to visit the staff over here to give their notice in, to give their adverts in? Today shows the support for this campaign, and I hope that them sitting in Trinity Mirror will listen to our local voices here. Dwi'n gobeithio bydd pobl yn Trinity Mirror ei gwrando ar ein lleisiau ni yma heddiw Gaernarfon. Diolch o galon I chi. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. Right. 184 years ago, the pioneers of the Welsh press established a newspaper in this town, and today the people of Caernarfon have come out to say that they will not allow Trinity Mirror to shuffle off quietly while they ditch the local press in this area. The National Union of Journalists is determined to stand up and protect the local press. Yes, there are technological advancements, and yes, there are new business challenges. But the most important thing about the local press is that it is local. Now, today we have a number of journalists, a number of ex-journalists, and we even have 2 ex-editors of the Caernarfon and Denbigh Herald. That shows the strength of opinion in this town. People want local journalism in the town, in the community, for local people. I just want to thank you. I'm not going to keep you much longer, you've had quite enough. I just want to thank you all for coming. Please take a leaflet. Please sign our petition, whether online or on the paper. And join us in any further events that we have to try and save this office. One last message for Trinity Mirror is this. And I've broken the mics now. One last message for Trinity Mirror is this. We are here as much in reconciliation as we are in a sense of belligerence. If that office is too big, if that office is too expensive, and Trinity Mirror don't want to get tied into a long lease on that office, there are plenty of other units in town, and the NUJ will be there helping to find them. Thank you everyone. Don't give on. Don't mind out.
Thank you.